Hello, welcome everyone. Today we will understand how to create a VM scale set in Azure. For that one, I am going to Azure portal and here I am creating virtual machine scale set. I have already a resource group called test. I am using that resource group for my VM scale set creation, and I am giving the name as Linux VM scale set, and because I am going to install the Linux OS configuration, so I am just using this Linux using the name as Linux VM scale set. And here is the orchestration. So what does it mean? It is, there are two types of orchestration mode. One is uniform, one is flexible. So it is, if it is uniform, means it is optimized for large scale stateless workloads with identical instances. So if your instances in the backend pool, if you are running multiple virtual machines, means so they will be of identical configurations. So that is called uniform orchestration mode. And flexible, which will help us high availability at scale with identical or multiple virtual machine types. It could be a combination of identical or multiple virtual machine types. So we can choose any one of these orchestration mode, and next we have to select the security type. Security type is a new feature introduced by Azure within a week, and it is if a normal VM, it will be having standard tier, and if you want to have a virtual machine in a trusted environment, you can go with trusted launch virtual machines. You can select, and as we discussed, we have to select the Ubuntu server. It is of 3.5 GB memory, and I am going to use the username password only. So the disk could be of premium type. And next is the networking. In this networking, I having this network, virtual network, so which I am going to use, or we can use this the default one I am using, or if you want to create new, you can create from here. And next configuration is the NICAD. If you, it will be automatically, it will be creating on NICAD, and sometimes it won't be having any public IP address. If you want to add a public IP address to your VM scale set, means you should add this in this edit mode only. So it could be of the NSG could be of basic and public inbound ports. We can select the ports which we want to select. So I am selecting HTTP and SSH 22. So because I may run a web server on it, so that's why I am adding this SSH port. And if you come down, this usually this public IP address for the VM scale set would be in a disable mode. So we have to enable it. So this is how we have to configure our network interface setting. If you need some changes, we can edit in this option, using this option. And if you want to add a load balancer, you can add this load balancer also. So Azure load balancer, and we have to select the load balancer, which load balancer. So by default it is providing, Azure itself it's providing the load balancer with its backend pool. And next is the scaling type. So scaling means it could be of increasing the machine, or it could be the decreasing machine in the number of instances. So if it is it depends on the criteria or condition, or we can say if the demand comes, the instances count should be increased. If the instances count should go when the demand or particular criteria is met out, means it should go down. So usually it is having 2 as a default initial instance count. So it's optional, we can give from 0 to 1000. Without a machine also we can create a VM scale set, and then we can create and after deployment also. But it is better to have at least 1 or 2 instances in the backend pool with initially while running the VM scale set. And scaling policy is we can choose either one of it. Either manual means we have to add our machines whenever demand rises. But if you make it as a custom, so you can simply specify the number of instances. It's like an automated process. So so how much machines to be increased, minimum number of machines that is to be added when the demand rises, or the number of instances to be reduced when the demand goes off. So it could be of 1000 or so maximum number of instances it could be 10 they are telling. So it's up to us. So we can say like 3 or 4. So whatever it is, we can choose from this option. And scale out means it is number of increasing the number of instances, and scaling means decreasing the number of instances when the demand according to the demand situations. And diagnostic log means it if you want to auto scale, and if you want to have a diagnostic log from this even every now and then our scaling goes up and down, so we can enable this option. If you want to know more about the diagnostic situation, you can enable this feature. And scaling policy, it is default, meaning balance across availability zones and fault domains, then delete VM with the highest instance ID. So this balance across availability zones and fault domains means, so it will the instances which we are created, it will be managed within the availability zones with and the fault domains. And if we the machine which have the highest instance ID, that would be automatically deleted, meaning if you suppose say 10 means, so the if everything balance means that VM with the highest instance ID would be first deleted. So other 2 options are all available, like newest VM or oldest VM. So if the initially we have running we are running 2 VM instances. So if you choose this oldest VM means the initial VM which is already present in our VM scale set will be deleted. Newest VM means the one which is added latest to our VM scale set, that would be deleted. And next is the management. So disable So this is upgrade policy. If anything to be upgraded, so we want to manually need to upgrade. And boot diagnostic I am making as disable. So these are all the other features which we can leave as with the default values. And health checkup, if health monitoring, if we need health monitoring, we can enable this option. And in the advanced tab, we can to run the web server, we can give a script also here. So I am giving the script as bin /sh sudo apt-get update sudo apt-get install apache 2 -y sudo greater than symbol echo webs. This VM scale set name we have to give. Linux VM, let us see here. If you have doubt, just see in the basics tabs, you can get the correct name and all. So Linux with capital letters, double VM double S we have to give. So let me go and give the same name, VM scale set, and we have to give the var www html / index.html. So we have to we are giving Linux VM scale set we are giving, and we are writing in the Apache server page. So next is the tags. It is optional. I am just review and creating our VM scale set. So it will take 2-3 minutes to launch. So almost ready, all this configuration it has now been created. So we have to go to the resource and we can check the instances. So there will be, as we given our choices, two VM scales should be running. So it will be running the two instances initially. So if any demand comes, anything happens means, so it will increase the number of instances count by 1 as we given, and if the demand goes off means it will the instances count will be going instance count will be deleted automatically. So if these comments are given right means, so we can expect the Apache server to be running here. So this is how we can know this VM scale set is working. So and let us see how to configure some in this manual scaling process, like CPU percentage increase while increasing, how the virtual machine count going up and down, we can see in our upcoming video. Thanks for watching.